How quickly can fortune change in Nigeria's agricultural sector? Well, beans farmers are discovering the answer as prices crash by over 100% following record-breaking harvests across the country. A 100 kilograms bag of cowpea and beans now sells for between 80,000 naira and 120,000 naira, a dramatic fall from the 240,000 naira peak recorded in 2024. Kabir Shuaibu, president of the Cowpea and Beans Farmers, Processors and Marketers Association, explains that farmers achieved yields up to 10 times higher than previous seasons, driven by favorable weather patterns and expanded cultivation areas. This agricultural windfall has transformed market dynamics, delivering significant relief to consumers while potentially stabilizing Nigeria's food security landscape. Okay, let's begin the conversation this way. Biko, welcome back once again. I think this is my first time you coming to the studio with me. But anyway, let's talk about food, beans. Is the price crash, is this good news for consumers? And also, what is responsible for the sharp drop in price?
First and foremost, Nigerians, I congratulate Nigerians who can buy beans at much cheaper prices, depending on the variety at this time. Last week, we also read a story about rice, the price of rice crashing to 22,000 naira per bag in Ebonyi State. Yes, the Ebonyi has always been a big rice producer, so I am not surprised that it continues to go down there. In the case of beans, there are so many factors involved. This year, they've not experienced the kind of damage that pests due to the commodity as they experienced in previous years. Flooding is also a big issue. So flooding has not really been a problem for them. So when there is increased yield, increased production of any commodity, it has to impact prices. If you produce sufficiently, it is when there is some level of scarcity that drives up prices.
But that's economics, basically.
But they are saying now that, look, farmers recorded yields 10 times higher than they experienced last year. So, and there's another geographical or climatical factor that we have to look at. Farmers in the south usually begin to plant faster. So at the time your own, what I'm trying to say is that because of a difference in rainfall pattern, so our people here, they like to plant early. So by the time they experience yields and they are beginning to, they harvest and they are beginning to make money. The other ones
in the north.
Yes, the other ones, before these ones finish selling.
That's when their own yield starts harvesting.
They begin to harvest and they push it into the market. So you now have surplus. You have surplus. These people are planted earlier because usually in the north, the peak of rainfall is around July, August. Yes, and it usually doesn't last for as long as we experience here. Some parts of Nigeria, they will experience rainfall for several months. In some parts of the north, maybe 2 months or 3 months max. So it affects when they plant and even when they harvest, because some of these crops, you can actually plant them 3 times a year. And if you do, that is if you even rely on rain-fed agriculture. If we choose to do irrigation, dry season farming, then you rely a lot on irrigation. Like wheat now, there's a lot of dry season farming for wheat in places like Jigawa State, for example. So the fact that these ones have met it in the market, it has caused some form of surplus to happen. So the prices have now come down. So imagine something that you are buying at 240,000 naira per bag is now being sold at 80,000 naira. So the price has come down, and they are happy because look, they too are learning from their experiences of the past years, you know. So they are planting it along with other crops like maize and others, so as to minimize their losses. So I'm happy because those who have made a career out of hoarding these commodities, they are big losers now. The thing about beans is that you cannot hoard it for more than a year. It's unlike you can hoard rice for years. Beans, you cannot.
Yes, it will
begin to perish.
Exactly.
So they are forced to then
throw them out,
push it into the market. Otherwise, they will have no gain at all. So they are the ones. I'm happy about what is happening to them. A lot of the problem that we have in our country, in terms of food security, is caused by middlemen who go and buy off these farmers and then keep waiting for the time when the price will go up. So and some of them are regretting now. Especially when you talk about rice, because government has then mandated people to bring in rice. Exactly. So that's why the price came down to less than 60,000, something that they were selling 100,000, 110, 120. So today, people can buy rice at somebody even 56,000. Here in Lagos, somebody bought for 56,000. You can't believe it that at this time last year, they were buying that same bag for more than 100,000.
I mean, Asoko, looking at this record harvest, could this be an opportunity for even export if we're having this too? Or do you think poor storage facilities, logistics could be a problem here?
No, I think this is an opportunity for us to make some dollars.
Exactly.
Export some of these cash crops. Because if you look at how the farmers have been strategizing on how to increase their yields, like the intercropping, for instance, planting beans and cowpeas alongside maize and all that, so that they can get high yields, is something that the government can also look at, to help them in terms of either giving little subsidies for them, for us to begin to see how they can move some of these crops outside Nigeria, and then we'll start making money. Because if you look at these farmers, there was a time these middlemen thought that, without them, Nigeria cannot survive and people cannot eat. And they really dealt a big blow on us. Last year, people could not even buy rice to eat. Last year.
Yes, it was that
In
bad.
fact, before coming, I had to start doing my own investigation. Bag of rice, truly, is between, from 50,000 to 65,000. Bag of rice. In fact, yesterday on social media, one man was praising President Tinubu of buying rice for 40,000. You get?
It's really coming down.
Ebonyi, that we are talking about 22,000. Ebonyi in the south, the way they produce rice is phenomenal.
Abakaliki rice.
And if you eat Nigerian-made rice,
the taste is
you will know that this taste is different completely. The one without stone, or not the one that you use hand to pick the stones, But the thing is,
we are even improving in that.
Exactly, we are
rice. Completely, yes, of course. There was a time that we used to use our hand, but now everything we want to say no stone, nothing, and you will not see. Fantastic. Absolutely. The nutrients are fantastic. So we will need to keep encouraging the farmers. Government policies now too, they are also helping farmers.
The government policies.
Look at even last week, the tractors and the farm implements, which the president actually,
mechanized farming.
For mechanized farming, they can begin to give to these farmers for them to help them reduce their own cost of buying these things. You know, same with even herbicides, in case pests attacks these crops. They can also help them to subsidize the price.
Exactly.
But we believe that if farmers put their hearts to this, we will begin to see more food, the prices of food really coming down. I want to see how December will look like, because I know by December most people used to order all this food ahead of December, so that by the time it's December they want to make all the money in this world.
If we have record harvest, like the farmers, will they be making their profits?
No, they will. They will.
If the price goes down this way.
No, the price is not going down, because take for instance, if before because of flood and because of attacks of you are losing money, and now you are making high yields. And instead of selling, before you are selling maybe 5 bags, now you are selling 100 bags. There's no how that you will make profit.
All right,
and it will encourage you to even put in more effort to
greater
make
production more. Will lead on their part to greater profit. Yes.
Right.
So that is, price will come down, but they will still make profit.
They will make profit
because they have produced a lot more.
All right, then let's